Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 28? 28! Has to be more convincing. Of SketchaLona. I think that really hot shower I just had and having myself covered in 2 blankets last night kind of drove up my temperature enough to kind of burn away this cough I still have. But the swelling and everything is going down, so sometimes the old remedies are still the best. So this is my weekly vlog. Every Sunday I try and put up a little video detailing how life in Barcelona is coming along and how I've been filling up my sketchbook. I've already had some exercises done this morning, which I'll definitely be using for this video. I'd like to show you what little work I've gotten done at work, because I used to be able to draw all the time. Those days are gone. So there's a lot less to show from during the week, but I did get some in. So let's have a look, shall we? My tools of the trade, my ink pen, a regular ballpoint, which is my favorite at work right now, my really thick pencil, and a 3.5 mechanical pencil. And so here we are. These are some of my coworkers. These are faces I see around me as I'm working, and you know, not to freak them out staring, which I'm sure some of them notice more than others. I just try and take a mental snapshot very quickly, and I just start drawing away. Not having a lot of time in between calls right now, I find myself stylizing a lot more and being a lot loose. And yeah, it makes for some fun sketches. So let's go check out the next page. So let's move the pens away. So here I once again force myself to draw the guidelines. Like, I have a very old bad habit of just going at it straight away without thinking too much of where I'm going, and then usually I end up out of space. So one of the big problems I've always had is I tend to draw the noses too big, then there's not enough space over here, and so having these guidelines right from the beginning and focusing on them and then worrying about what is actually within that space allows me to get my proportions correct more often than not. Quite fond of this one, just the shadows, just as a little drawing. Okay, let's go over here. I've been focusing a lot on eyes and eyebrows, because I've noticed, for example, if you check out my wall right over here, that's Kurt Russell, but look at that left eyebrow. Like, I never noticed that before, but it's like, it's cool, but it looks like he belongs in Star Trek. So it looks a bit fake and stuck on. And so I've been trying to figure out how the eyebrow is positioned on the brow, on that ridge, and of course it's there to prevent sweat from going into your eyes and to kind of make it roll off your face. Of course, it also allows us to be very expressive. But I've been trying to get that. Let me just get a pen just quickly. I've been trying to I think a lot of us draw eyebrows first and then kind of go, you know? And so I've kind of been trying to build it up a lot more. So let's say this is the eye socket, and you've got, there we go, nice and creepy. So the eye is in here, right? You've got, let's say, this is a little anatomy, just trying to make sense of it all. So I'm trying to make sense of eyelids, this part, like how you can see a little bit of this eyelid, and like when to draw it and when to leave it. Like it's not always necessary to go in fine detail, but it is, I do think if you stylize, it is necessary to know how the interplay of shadows here works, so that you get that, if you're only drawing one swift line, you get it right. So yeah, so you got the tear duct, this eye. Another thing I've been paying a lot more attention to is simply how some people's eyes get cut like here, and so it makes them look a little stoned, a little sleepy, but sometimes it's just their expression, like it's just the way they look, right? And in the same way, like if you draw the eye with lots of white around it, it gets that startled look a lot better. So back to the eyebrow. So if this is the eye socket, so there's all the, this is basically being filled up by, well, fat, I guess, soft tissue. And on top of that bony ridge is the eyebrow. The hairs tend to go like here, and then they cross like that. It's another thing you don't always have to draw. You don't even have to fill in the whole eyebrow. You could just go like here and here and let the mind fill that in. Kind of depends. I've suddenly noticed that with myself. My eyebrow is very thin here. And so I've noticed that in videos, because I'm making these videos all the time, and you become a little bit more self-aware. It's almost as if like I only have eyebrows here, like this is gum, but they're there, man. They're there. They're just very light, I guess. So yes, you got that soft tissue here, and like this eyelid, like when I look up and you see way more of it, right? And like there's all these different ways to express yourself. That is just fascinating. It's just endlessly fascinating how people express themselves and like trying to convey that. And one of the infuriating thing I find drawing people, which is important to me for making comics, is that the lines are like, to get a likeness, the lines are really subtle around here, like, and so if you go like here and you just cut through, you know, like it's a really small difference from here to here to here, but it's the difference between getting a likeness or not, or getting an expression or not, you know. And so yeah, this is just something I have been focusing on by drawing lots and lots and lots of eyes. In fact, I got a new little sketchbook, in case you forgot I had this one. And this little sketchbook is just for drawing eyes. I'm sure halfway through I will get carried away. I think that's a US Senator. I tend to draw whatever is in front of me. A lot of times I try and catch up with the news. I just draw the people that are in it, whether I agree with them or not. That's not really important, is it? And yeah, so lots of eyes here. I really like this little drawing. Go a little further. These are studies. I suppose we could do one right now. Let's have a little go drawing here. So she's got her eyes raised up. I can make an incision there. And then there's a straight line through So this is just how I practice.
Solo estaba interesado en tocar poder, eso dicen. El aludido ya respondió al PSOE recordándoles que Podemos no es su enemigo, sino su aliado.
So yeah, really fun little quick exercise to pick up something new. Another thing I kind of dug this time around is because of the way I was holding my pen and holding the camera at the same time, I couldn't, you know, my lines got a lot looser because I just couldn't get the traction on the paper the way I wanted it, but like it kind of loosened me up a little bit because I'm digging how it came out. So good, yay me, another page, mini page done. So what's next? You guys, I think it's time for another fan edit review. And this one is for Prometheus. What was supposed to be a prequel for Alien, but not quite. But if you look right here, you get to see some of the very cool editing techniques they use. Splicing in deleted footage, or footage that was just online.
So effectively extinguished the flame without hurting himself whatsoever. Lawrence just smiled and said the trick, Potter, is not minding it hurts.
Well, what's the trick then?
So this fan edit by Man in the Iron Mask is unlike some other ones that I've really been having a lot of trouble finding or downloading because I'm on a Mac, and apparently the special software for these special hidden places on the internet to download these fan edited films doesn't work. So I'm really limited in what I can actually watch, unfortunately, because there's a Dark Knight Rising one I'd really like to watch. There's a Ghostbusters 3 one I'd like to watch. So the last two I've watched were the fan edit of the Crystal of the Kingdom Skull and Prometheus that you've just seen all around you. The thing I love about this fan edit is how like they really managed to put in the content that was meant to go on the web to garner interest for people watching this film, like these little vignettes that give you a lot of really valuable information about who these characters are and their motivations, and all that stuff was out of the film. So the first time I saw that, it really made me go like, oh, how could they even take that out? That is like really important stuff. But there's also too much of it. Like you don't need all of it, just in the sense that in a film that needs a little editing like this one, there's quite a lot of beautifully shot scenes, like the opening of the original Prometheus on Iceland, where you see one of the engineers giving his life so that his DNA may be dispersed. This could be Earth, could be not, who knows, but like this is like kind of given a very clear, like this is who these aliens are and what they do, and it completely ruins the surprise that they look like us. I love this silhouette just up here, very clear because of the white over here. I found it a little tricky because I want to draw very dark some of these things over here, but then I feel like that might actually take away from his shape over here. So I needed a different way of doing that, and I think the way I end up doing it, which is just very rough and just an outline for a color. I've seen this in comics before, and like it's a great way of doing it, I guess. Other things they take out are like some of the other very lengthy, on the nose I can't have babies now. Now we had sex and I'm 3 months pregnant, which is impossible. Oh, it's an alien. Like all that stuff gets taken out, and it's still in there. They still hint at it. It's there. They just don't have these really awkward, lengthy scenes between. Even though this is a favorite film of mine, it's not a super well received film. Like I loved watching this in the cinema, even though I didn't think it really met all of my expectations, you know, because I'd been looking forward to Prometheus for years. Like finally a new alien movie by the guy who made it. But it's one of those films that makes you think, and there's so many fan theories about it, about what is really happening in this film and whatnot. And it's just nice to watch a film that kind of allows your imagination to take hold, like the original Alien, and just run with it, you know, in horror. Which is why it's so awkward that there are very lengthy scenes in the actual film where they're so on the nose about what's happening. And it's like, yeah, we get it. So in this, they cut all that out. But the most important thing of this particular edit is that, man, does it look good in black and white? And it's a direct prequel to Alien. So there's so much confusion when this film came out and when it did about, so is it a reboot of Alien or is it a prequel? Oh, it's not even the same planet, so how does that work? Why did you do that when you said it was a prequel, but now it's not? It's all very confusing. So they've gone through some lengths, through some special effects, changed the names of the computers that you see in the film and what, to make this the planet that Alien takes place on. And they've done some serious editing at the end of the film to make sure it directly connects to Alien and not kind of, maybe, when. That kind of still caught me off guard, but I do appreciate that they actually tried that, especially like in how they did that. That was cool. That was cool. But overall, I'm like I said, like I am a fan of this film, but I enjoyed this version so much that even though I watched it yesterday, I've been drawing and I want to watch it again. And you're probably watching some of those drawings right now, but like I want to watch this movie again. Like that's how much they keep that tension and like what I really love about, you know, the film. So yes, another fan edit bites the dust. And I think that means he wants me to wrap it up and play. But it is time to wrap it up. Thank you so much for hanging out for these 18 minutes that this video has been taken of your time. I do appreciate you watching, and I noticed there's quite a few new subscribers, so welcome to my channel. Come say hello in the comments down below. There's quite a number of us of the 100 Days of Making Comics who follow each other, so if you do have a channel and you want to post a link down below, or just, you know, a comment so I can find you, I'll be sure to say hello right back at you. In the meantime, I'm gonna have to wrap this one up because I'm not quite 100% yet. So I think it's time for me to grab another meal and